Hello, welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 2nd of March. It's going to be an incredible week, so please do stay with me to the end. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, could I just ask you to subscribe and also press on the bell notification symbol. This week begins with a quarter moon. Actually in the sky it looks like a half moon, and this one's in Gemini. Gemini, a bright and bubbly third sign of the Zodiac, very much to do with communications. But the moon in Gemini doesn't necessarily guarantee that we'll be in touch with how we feel. It's more that we can just say things. Things can just come out, perhaps even from a subconscious point. And it's square with the Sun in Pisces, suggests there could be some gossip doing the rounds. Or if someone tells you something that you're not expecting, do try to understand what their motives may be. But on Wednesday, Mercury, the planet of communication, which of course governs Gemini, ends its retrograde in the sign of Pisces and inverts into the sign of Aquarius. So it's still retrograde, still going backwards, but it's moved into Aquarius. Actually, this can be a good thing because Mercury likes being in Aquarius. It's exalted here, and it's more logical than the dreaminess, the wateriness that dilutes Mercury's accuracy when it's in the sign of Pisces, but it is still going backwards. A friend could be in touch, or a long-term plan that has stalled may come back into focus. But on Thursday, Venus, the planet of love, moves into one of its two home zones, the sign of Taurus. But it's going to be linking to Uranus, the planet of surprises. So when it comes to love, if you're single, it is possible that something can develop over the next few days in quite a lively and unexpected way. In an existing relationship, if things have become a little bit too predictable and a bit worn around the edges, a bit like that comfy pair of slippers, it's time to think of ways in which you can regenerate that initial spark you had. And that may mean both of you breaking away from your own personal routines and spending more time together. But if you can be spontaneous, then do be so, whatever your romantic status. Now, all through this week, the Sun continues to forge in Pisces a wonderful angle to Mars. And Mars is about passion, and it's exalted in Capricorn. So this gives us a lot of motivation, potentially. But then, from Thursday through to the end of the week, the Sun aligns with Neptune. This is one of those aspects where if we really want to be very compassionate and caring about other people, this is a fine time to be so. We can just have a natural compassion for others. But equally, Neptune can just take the edge off the Sun's drive, even though Mars has been supportive. By the end of this week, the conjunction with Neptune could make us feel a bit confused, a bit disorientated, lose a little bit of traction. But if we're anticipating it, which you will be by listening to this video, you'll know it's a fine time to do something that's altruistic, that can help someone else. But just be aware that perhaps the inner drive that has been more apparent of late can just die down a little bit. So if you're lucky enough to be able to plan your routine or your day to do something a little bit easier, a little bit less stressful, then that's a smart move. But if you're planning to do something quite vigorous towards the end of this week, just be aware that you may not quite have so much wherewithal as before. Your specific forecast, Aquarius, shows that with Mars angling up with the Sun, surfing that energy from the new moon in your second solar house, all that hard work you've been investing over the last few years can come back to you positively in terms of your finances. But of course, Mercury is also in your sector of finances and is also in retrograde as this week begins. So it may feel that you can put loads of effort and energy in, and you certainly can, but you're still going to have to micromanage every single cent or penny. And it can be frustrating. And then Mercury comes back into your sign on Wednesday, still going backwards. So if something hasn't quite panned out as you would like, you may have to rejig it, refocus and go again. But if that happens, try to be philosophical about it. The quarter moon, which occurs on Monday, could actually give you the impulse to splash money on the here and now, just to have some enjoyment. If you can afford it, why not? It can be very therapeutic. Or perhaps you'll want to spoil someone you care for, or someone close to you can ask for some kind of financial support. That requires a little bit more resistance on your part, because if you help out too easily, because you can be so kindly, and with the Sun combining with Neptune in the second half of this week, that most compassionate side of your nature can be aroused. It could be that you stop them from taking responsibility for their own situation. So just be aware of that. But with Venus moving out of your sector of everyday communication into your home zone, for some Aquarius people, this can be a fine time to make some changes at home. This could be moving the furniture around. It could be buying some new furnishings, changing your soft furnishings or your colour scheme. You can have some sudden brainwaves about how to do this. Or for other water bearers, an opportunity to start a small business from home could also appeal. Venus can be about money, Uranus can be about innovation. Put the two together and the flexibility of home working, it could suit you absolutely down to the ground. So this week can be a time of passion, it can be a time of reward, but I do think it does need you to stay very much grounded to the earth when it comes to your resources. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace personal astrology and understand what makes you tick beyond just where your sun's located, please see the link beneath this video where you can order your personal character analysis and also your 12-month forecast, and also achieve a 30% discount, or you can choose to have a one-to-one personal consultation with me. But for now, good luck and goodbye.